An amazing Thursday night to everyone. It's another night for KJC eSports Updraft, and this is the grand finals. Welcome to the commentator desk. You are joining us, Datum and Dash, for tonight. How are you feeling tonight, Dash?
Yeah, man, I've been feeling really well and also excited for our teams, or should I say ecstatic for our teams today because it's been quite a long weekday for our teams. They have been playing a lot during the past days, the quarterfinals, semifinals. They had all best of threes, or rather, three
Three
games
games.
during the
Yeah.
past days, right? So it's quite a long journey for our teams right now, S2 Esports and also Reform Esports. So this is quite a long journey, and this is the last stand for them. A best of three on three maps. I wish it's gonna be also a three games. So I'm just so excited on how this is all gonna turn out later. But before we go to that, also everyone, don't forget that we are still hosting scrims on our Discord. So if you want to join, just check that out. Also, we have our socials at KJC Esports and a very own website, kjcesports.com, if you want to get updated with a lot of things on the SEA, especially right now that we're starting the APAC VCT. So this is gonna be really exciting. There's a lot of things going around in the Valorant scene, but there's still updraft for today. $100, winner takes all. I hope the teams are ready for this.
Absolutely. I mean, if the semifinals is of any substance, it's that all of these teams are ready for
Yeah,
tonight. I mean,
for
I
sure.
would not have guessed that it's these two teams that are gonna come into tonight. I mean, my guess is good as anyone's, and any single team could have come out of the semifinals. But we are blessed tonight because it is between S2 Esports and Reform Esports. But before we head off into the first map, which is gonna be Breeze, I'd like to thank our sponsors first for helping us make this event possible. This event, Updraft, is co-organized with Cyberport and sponsored, of course, by Vertigear and Coda Shop. Now, going back into the map, Vito here, Dash. The first map is going to be Breeze, and in the semifinals,
Hmm.
neither of these teams actually played Breeze, I believe. Oh, wait, rather, S2 Esports, actually, they're the ones who played in Breeze. They lost against You Guys Get
Yeah.
Paid 9 to 13, and I'm kind of surprised that they actually picked it this time.
Yeah, maybe they have some underlying strategies, especially if it's against another team. So maybe they're looking for something different right now. Maybe they got something from YGGP during the last time, so they want to double down on it and use it against Reform Esports. So if they're gonna go for this Breeze, there's a lot of long range fights in this game, so
Mm.
there's less time for being inaccurate on this map. So that's why whoever has the better aim probably will win on this Breeze map. So yes, those utilities are there, but at long range fights, if you're that good, you're gonna be rewarded in Breeze.
I absolutely agree. And speaking of good aim in those long range fights, Mikasa, one to watch out for in S2 Esports. He was a dedicated chamber player, particularly in Breeze for S2, and he did perform quite well, especially with the Tour de Forces and the Operator. Very, very consistent with getting the opening frag. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough against You Guys Get Paid in the semifinals, and I'm definitely expecting S2 to go for the chamber play this time, but I wonder what they're going to change up to make things a little bit different against Reform Esports.
Yeah, I really like the Sky pickup that they have. Maybe a KO would also be okay for this for Guitarist if ever he has it in his book. And especially that they're on the defender's side, it would be as effective getting that extra info
Select your
together on both
agent.
sides because it's a very, very wide map. So you know that there's a lot of things going around. If ever Guitarist goes in with a KO, would be good. Actually, anything that they go for would be good. But the Reyna, they're gonna go for the Sky. So yeah, we're gonna be having a mirror matchup for Reform and also for S2 right now. And yeah, excited to see on how this is gonna go. Defenders so far has been has been really great for Breeze. So
Uh,
right now there's a bit of a change. I wish the attackers would be able to double down during this game.
mm, Mirror matchup here, Dash, and I have a feeling about this matchup, and it's the same feeling that I've had for the last 2 weeks, and that this is going to be a close one. I mean,
Right.
we've said it earlier. We've never had a two-game best of three, and I believe that this one is gonna be no different. It's the grand finals after all. I believe we're gonna get as much Valorant as we want, and of course, it's a fitting matchup here because we have a miracle, and I could I wouldn't have had it any other way here.
Yeah. All I can say, going on a bit of a tangent here, Datum,
Mm.
I know you've watched Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
You've watched it, right? Yeah. Do you remember the S2 of Stranger Things? It,
Okay,
can you
season
imagine
two.
the reformed Steve Harrington during that time? I like that. So maybe
Mhm.
here right now, S2 and also Reform Esports would be like Steve Harrington. They would be reformed and ready for this game, and they're going for it for the fight in mid. Disrupt is already on side, rather on mid. Was able to do some damage. Was able to delay most of the members right here from S2. Now backing away from mid.
Yeah, this is one of the things that Reform is very well known for. In this tournament specifically, they're very, very aggressive, even on the defensive side. And Disrupt, pressing that issue down in mid, denying that control signals that Mikasa and the gang now have to push up A, where they're going to be met by two waiting arms. That's Nasmi and Worship, set up with the crossfire. And Mikasa's already down to red health. So is Fade. So this might prove scary for them if they push this up.
Going in for the site, they have the vision already onto Nasmi. They know that he's on site. Mind would try to get the headshot, was able to, and now opening up the site from themselves, getting them onto these post-plan situations. Those skills are coming together, and Disrupt is the last one set. Rather, it's still a 2v2 for both sides. If ever they go for it, Eugene S gets a headshot, and now it's the last man standing. Mind takes away, and that's a kill for Reform. What a great round.
Yeah, S2 Esports, they did a pretty good job getting into that site with minimal casualties. So we're actually able to trade out those kills from happening despite having the low health bars. But when the 2v2 commenced on the post plant, that's exactly what was the bane of their existence, is that they didn't have any health to fight for the 2 versus 2. Which is why it was basically too easy for Disrupt and Eugene S, which each had a sheriff in hand, and a headhunter, that is, for Eugene S. And all it took was single taps, not even headshots, to get those kills. And they got the first round of this game. Reform, they're pretty aggressive, and we saw it today. We saw it in this round. This time around, Disrupt, let's see if he's gonna go for the same type of strategy in mid. Seems like he will. He's pinging it right now.
Yeah, most of the time when you still have a chamber on your side on pistol rounds, you're probably holding all the aces. You have big advantage because the headhunter is just so strong. Now Fade trying to fight with a 1v1 on mid and was able to get the kill. Eugene S gets 2! And now might be able to get the third one. And yes, this is expected for Reform to win, but that's still big for Eugene S to be able to defend against 3 people. And now it's the last one standing. He has been discovered with the headshot. Worship would be taking that in the bag.
Massive Marshall from Eugene S. Makes you wonder what Mikasa has to answer for it when he goes on that operator, or even a Marshall for that matter. But that was the eco after all, so it was destined to go in the way of Reform. Disrupt is contemplating whether he should go for the force buy, but opts for the sheriff instead. So Reform, they set themselves up pretty good for the first 2 rounds. This next one is gonna be a bit of a challenge to overcome, but let's see. This is Reform. They go for these unexpected shenanigans on this defense, but it seems like this time is gonna be no different. It's Ghidorah's on the push duty, just the Spectre to work with, but those short ranges, of course, he can make that work if he is unexpected here, but I doubt that Reform or rather Esther's not expecting this. There you go, they are. Mind picks up Ghidorah's.
Yeah, gets the headshot. Now everybody's holding onto pillars. Whenever someone goes forward for the members of Reform, Disrupt is now low in HP, so if ever he oversteps his boundaries, he might get killed here. And now they're going for the toxic screens onto A. So most likely, what they want to do here, get the vision in A, get the bait before they try to go in. But remember, they don't have the Jet. Jet is on pillars. Mind is waiting for them there. So if ever they try to go or try something different here, might be up for a surprise because Eugene S is going to go and push. Might be able to get the shot here. Wasn't able to get the headshot, but at least he was able to get one. Now to 2v4, Reform Esports on a disadvantage.
Push about to commence
Last
on
player
A site
standing.
with the falling members of Reform just like flies. They're not able to trade a lot of those kills, leaving them like on the 1 versus 4.
Yeah.
Nasmi's down in mid, still has a Spectre in hand, so as long as he plays the close quarters fight, he might just be able to wing it against Mind, who might not be expecting this push from happening, and gets the headshot quite cleanly against Nasmi for the 4K. And S2, they're on the board 1-2.
Good start off for Mind, getting a lot of kills, especially in mid. Opening up the map for themselves and was able to just snowball through it. I mean, it's expected that they're going to be winning that round, but that just was so clean. They only had one casualty during that time. So, Steve Esports Still looking good. This might be the round that we're waiting for, especially that they have the operator already onto Disrupt. So if ever they try to go in A side and where Disrupt is, this might go towards their favor if he will be able to get the kill.
Blocking
You
sight.
mind though, taking things up a notch. Making a lot of noise in halls along with that Sky on Fade.
Poison orb emitting.
Casa is the first to fall in this round. Off in the hands of
Whoa!
Disrupt! Beautiful Colat right there, completely shutting down that Hall's push. And now it's all down to Milioan and Saikoro, but man, oh man, this is gonna be hard to bounce back from. And their positions, they're a little bit compromised here in Cave.
As we were saying a while ago, Tatum, if Disrupt
One
will
enemy
the first kill, he
remaining.
might be able to snowball it.
Spike
Disrupt!
down A.
Oh
Screen
no,
down.
he tailwinded forward. That's why he was a casualty right now, but that doesn't matter. I hope they would be able to get this operator because it's too far away. Oh no, I think he lost it. Oh no, yeah, Worship was able to get it. Reform was still able to get it because Disrupt actually played that round so greatly. Was able to make it work, was able to snowball the momentum out of just killing Mikasa in mid, then worked his way out with a Colat onto Halls. And yeah, that's exactly what they did for the side of Reform. As we said a while ago, defense is always going to be easier on this map because it's really that big. And you're just needing to hold these angles. It's really harder. There's
Get out of my way.
less room for error for S2. That's why Reform Esports knows that and just uses it in their favor.
This time though, Disrupt doesn't get the connect for the first blood.
Blocking sight.
Gonna permit you mind to take control of tunnel tailwinds in, but doesn't get the shots off. Eugene S is better for it. Disrupt from behind, he spots
enemy
two, looks for
remaining.
the third, and he does. Leaving Cyclone this time around all alone, defend for himself, and not gonna find much out of it at all. Eugene S with the 3K. What a massive
Man.
push right there from Disrupt down in mid, taking control
Yeah.
of that area, and S2 just wasn't expecting it at all.
Yeah, so far, S2 has been trying to get control onto mid, but because Disrupt is now holding an operator, they can't even have that chance to go and push for mid. That's why good timings for Disrupt. Wasn't able to get anything out of that on the side of S2. Really unfortunate for them, but they might be able to go for more on this next one though. They have lesser guns against Reform Esports because it's now an eco. Yes, the Sheriff might be good for long range, but at this super long range, it might not be. Disrupt was able to see one, able to get more but because of the smoke on holes. Won't be able to get a kill.
That op sounds scary,
Poison orb
especially in the
emitting.
hands of Disrupt. Eugene S as well has been fragging out of his mind. The same number of kills for the Chamber and the Jet from Reform side.
Oh,
This time it's Mikasa that's gonna get the first touch against Ghidorah's. Again, pushing up a little bit far forward in mid. He hasn't really found a lot of success with that pillar push.
yeah.
But Ghidorah's he's gonna be falling real early this time. Gonna permit the upgrade onto Milioan's hands. And everyone from S2 contemplating whether they should push this A side.
Yeah, they got the upgrade already onto one. Hope this works out in their favor. Milowan has the Vandal. They have the Toxic Chains already in position. Waited for the Recon Bolt, but Disrupt
Spike
was
down
waiting
A.
for them to come through and was able to make it work. And now with that, the Toxic Screen onto the Recon Bolt, pushing through onto the Fade. Wasn't able to see anything, but they got 2 kills already on their side.
30 seconds
Now it
left.
didn't open up like
One
what they
enemy
wanted to.
remaining.
Fade was able to get one, but
Spike
Mikasa is
down
going to be
A.
the last member, and he is also going to fall down. Reform! These members are just on fire right now.
I mean, I'm remembering now why Reform is such a scary team to be facing. Because whenever you're up against them at any given moment, each and every single one of their members are going to turn up. Earlier it was Disrupt, and then it was Eugene S. This round it was Worship with the 3K. And it seems like it's very reminiscent of their game in the semifinals, where every single one actually had a time in their spotlight. And it's just showing right now as well. 5-1, they
You
put
want to
themselves
play?
far ahead
Let's
already.
play.
But let's see if they're gonna repeat that with 3 ults available for S2.
Yeah, the Tour de Force wasn't able to hit onto the Disrupt, but they're pushing onto calls. And they're opening up the side. They don't want any good vision on their side, though. They have the flash on the Disrupt, was able to open up the side. And now, this is going to be taken by S2. That is a good play from them. Was able to open up like what they wanted to, but Eugene S was able
Last
to answer
player
back with
standing.
one. And you mind again getting another headshot. The last one standing at the doors uses the Seekers to get info, but Miller One is there to shut them down.
That operator missed shot from Disrupt is absolutely massive for S2 Esports. He had to tailwind away, which means that he had to play a little bit more safely. And then playing off of the toxic screen, S2 Esports were able to take control of the halls area with Umind leading the charge, opened up the doors, and just crashed down on the defense of Reform. That's gonna give them that second round and the operator onto Mikasa's hands, who admittedly haven't been having the best of games, but when you give Mikasa that operator, that's when he starts to shine, and he's got just that right now.
Blinded.
Game displays fade. Comes in.
I've got your
Vision
trail.
for themselves though. Whenever they go and try for a push, they have the Seekers to get vision on Disrupt. They know that he's here, but the timing for Disrupt was just great and wasn't able to take them all down. Now mid is not clear, Fade is falling down, and Gadilras was able to get a call at. That's nice, but Mikasa, last man standing with the operator. They know they might be able to get the vision. Because they were able to get it, Disrupt is going to be seen. That timing is just going to be great. Mikasa is going to fall down, and Disrupt was able to get himself up there again with the operator.
Yeah, Disrupt just out operating Mikasa, both literally and figuratively, in that duel. And again, Mikasa doesn't get the shot off with the operator. And it's at this point where you gotta be questioning the mental state of S2 Esports. Yes, I know it's still early, it's still round number 9, but when you are not getting those shots off on your key players, it's gotta hurt, Dash.
Yeah, haven't really expecting any shots from S2 Esports. They were able to make it work with Yuma a while ago, so they always need to keep him up. So far, not enough players have been turning up. Yes, they've been using their utilities, but because Disrupt is always up and ready for what's going to come, he's always getting those shots in Tatum. And right now, I'm kind of thinking on my mind on what they need to do.
Yeah, it's right now it's the mental game, right? They need to find where Disrupt is and actively avoid that area. But how are they going to do that without something like a filter or something to shoot? There you go, Millie1 does spot out the AWP, but in the end, it's Gadores that picks him up. Eugene S, winner of the chamber duel against Mikasa. And there's no trades as of yet because it is a default by S2 Esports. So now they have to group up. At least they get the trade on to Disrupt and Gadores. And Fade taking matters into his own hands. Gonna leave T-Mind in a doable 1 versus 2. But he does not have spike control as of yet. Fortunately for him, Worship and Eugene S are a bit far off, so he's gonna get the plant off.
Was able to get the plant up. You might just need to play around him. And yeah, as I was saying, Worship was able to shut him down. And it was a really nice try for S2 Esports trying to go for in. Was able to get 3 kills onto a 3v5. Was really close because Reform, I think so far they weren't able to push B side yet. Just because Eugene S has been playing B side so well. Even if it's alone on B side, he's always going to be playing well. He's always going to get those skills. And that's why, honestly, at this point, I think they're more afraid of Eugene S rather than disrupting the operator. And they're steering clear of this problem. Yes, they can skip this problem right now. But how long would that be? We're now 3 rounds before the next half.
Teleport's ready.
Got it yourself. 3 rounds for the next half. 7-2, 5 ahead. Reform Esports.
Get out of my way.
The defense has been absolutely impenetrable. Apart from the 2 rounds where S2 Esports have found the cracks, but just to find that again, and it's Nasmi, of course, to open things up for Reform this time. Again, no trade to come through. But it is the eco after all, so as long as they find the damage here, that's all they want, that's all they need.
Yeah, this might be their last eco though. So they need to at least get something out of this. Because at this point, it's not gonna matter if they try to kill some of the members here, because right now, they're just gonna be taking them down. Sakura! Oh, no way! That was not ideal, but they're still going for him. No! They blinded him and took him down onto a flawless round. Reform Esports, that's too dirty, man.
I'll tell you what's dirty. That play from UGNS down halls, picked up 2 members, and completely shut down that hall control that was being asserted by Umind and the gang. That was something that they opted for that actually worked for them the last time that they won a round. Umind pushing up down mid, using that toxic screen as cover against the operator, but there was no op there this time. It's Eugene S that's holding down the corridor. He was able to get 2 easy frags, and as you mentioned, Eugene S, an
Blinded.
absolute monstrosity this game. Right up there with Disrupt without even needing the operator. Next the question, what is S2 going to do against this Fortress? The answer is B, but for now they're able to make it happen. But with not much success once more as Godowers picked up 1 more kill than their enemy. Worship doubles up, leaving us in the 1 versus 4 and Cyclo doesn't have it in him. 9-2, back to the eco they go, S2.
Okay,
Last
here's what
round
happened.
before the switch.
Yes, they were able to answer Eugene S, but then everybody turned up. Everybody got those kills, and it's not even just Disrupt, even Worship, and even all of them, except for Eugene S, who got taken down in the first, 20 seconds. But still, Reform Esports, wow, this team just knows how to play the Breeze. And remember, S2 Esports is the one who picked this map up on this one, so it's gonna be hard for S2 Esports moving forward from this, because Reform, I think they're all online, and so far they have not been answering the problems that Reform Esports are putting up in their faces. They're trying to skip all the problems, and they're losing a lot of rounds because of it. Gatoro's onto mid pillars, might be able to get the kill on Mikasa, and now that's a man advantage already onto their side, but at least Fade was able to answer back, and the Hunting Spear being thrown down might be able to get the kill, which is nice, but still, we're also in an equalizer, so they can still make this work on the side of Reform.
From behind though, Eugene S, this is a push that they might not be expecting now that they're making their way out of A. Mid, they gotta be steering clear of it because it's a very, very dangerous position. At least they have the beaters for that info. There you go, Eugene S falling up, Viper Spit going down in B's side just so they could rotate. It's the state of the game right now for S2 Esports, but at least they'll be able to get the plant off in B's site and get themselves in a winnable 3v2.
Yeah, that's a good rotation. Was able to get the vision.
Planted.
I really like the positioning here from Milowan. Just to try to get some info, maybe go for a flank later on. It's a very good investment onto the late game for Milowan. If ever, they won't be able to catch him up. So now, they're not in a good position for the side of Reform. They're gonna force this onto a 9-3, and really, if that happens, that might be unfortunate for their side. They have the shocklers coming in, they have the flashes, and also smoke screens coming up. Might be able to get for this, though nobody's picking him up, and now the defenders is able to get it. Reform dies, but still, they were able to get a 10-2. They thought that it's gonna be a bait, but no. Worship is just gonna worship that spike, and just is gonna put his knees down there.
What a cloud burst right there, the coordination from Disrupt and the Worship. And there was basically nothing that Ghidorah's or rather, that Fade and Saikoro could do in that fight, apart from maybe pushing, but they were all in very, very far positions. They were banking on the fact that from window, Saikoro could spot out those, or anyone defusing, but just a catastrophic turn of events right there for S2 Esports. 10-2 going into the pistol round. They absolutely have to win this just to try and equalize.
Yeah, for sure. This is what's hard when you're playing behind, especially on 8 rounds in. So that's why it's gonna be hard for them to turn things around. But you know, it's still the defense might be able to do that, but because they're so fast, Disrupt was able to get his headhunter and back away with the rendezvous. Now they're running around, but Eugene S gets a headshot of his own. They just don't know that Fade is onto the back, and they're gonna be pushing this up. And it would be good to get onto elbow. They know that there's a lot of people here, but the Shock Knight's gonna hit. The right click was able to get one, and might be able to get more Nasby. And this is the last with another headshot. What a play from Reform. And now, like what you said, Datum, they needed to win that, but Reform was there to deny it.
Yeah, S2 Esports, they had the right idea. They got very, very creative with that 3-member flank, but Nazmi was just so good. A bit of a mishap on the tailwind on Umind as well, not permitting him that safety that he needed so much against Nazmi. Meant that he had very little going for himself in that duel. Man, oh man, we thought it was going to be the pistol round going in the way of, I thought personally it was going to go in the way of S2 after that 3-man flank, but was completely shut down by Reform. They're going for the force buy now. S2, they're putting everything in this round.
Disrupt gonna be the target, was able to get the headshot. He still has the rendezvous to work with, but now they answered back to Eugene S, and again another chamber shot. They forced the buy, and still a 2v2 came out onto this side. Now one's going to flank, but still first line situation.
Now, at this point, Reform's got to be expecting this flank from happening. But Milliwan is going to try anyway. Worship is the one keeping him
Oh.
at bay. You mind
Oh
tumble
my.
down to red health. Gadowers, this is the right time to go for the flank. Milliwan,
One enemy
the best
remaining.
time right now, but now it's too late because
Oh,
his
no.
teammate has fallen. Yuman is down. So is Milliwan. And the form, they're one away from securing the first game of the
Match
night.
point.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good. Honestly, this is gonna be the last straw, especially that they went in for the force buy during
yeah.
that last round. This is gonna be hard, Aiden, because they don't have a lot of credits to work with. Being the match point round for Reform Esports, they're really that confident. Yes, they don't have a lot of bank also, but they don't have anything to lose. They only need the one round at this. Backs against the wall. That's a lot of rounds. I'm for sure. I think Reform Esports is just so confident right now.
Take flight.
No, they should be. They're on a roll. Literally. How many rounds in a row that they've won already?
Yeah.
I can't even count anymore. But Mikasa still in the same spot. This time with no luck on the headshots.
I'm out of stuff.
Fade is still here as well.
Oh
my
my.
gosh. Gets spotted
Oh.
by the recon and the spams to follow through.
Spike planted.
Now it's gonna be the last two
One
members
enemy
trying to
remaining.
offer up some resistance, trying
Oh,
to save
no,
this round from the
headshot.
dumps, but it's just a flawless
Attackers
for
win.
Reform. It's too easy for them, and Breeze is gonna go under them.
They were able to get the win there. And man, I'm not sure what to say during that round. That was too close. Or should I say, too far.
Not
I'm so
even.
sorry. Yeah, but yeah, that was also the map of S2. I don't really know what to say right now because Datum, next map is going to be Ascent, one of Freeform's favorites. So if ever they need to turn things up, especially that they're going to go on the defense onto Ascent, maybe this is the time for Game 2. But now, on Game 1, talking about how it all happened, everybody just went through, everybody just got a lot of first bloods. The Worship, look at the econ rating on this man. It's 156. He's the highest on this whole game. That's just too much, especially when you're playing on Breeze. You're not going to be expecting a lot of a high econ rating because everybody's playing on long range and they were just that accurate during the game.
I mean, you would expect that it's Eugene S or possibly even Disrupt on the Jet and the Chamber to get the highest econ rating because
Yeah.
of the way their agents work, but it's Worship. And the fact of the matter is, it's because he's got the least deaths in the game, and that's just a testament to how
Yeah.
well each and every one of Reform's members performed in this game number 1. Remember, ladies and gents, it's S2 who picked up Breeze. The next one is Reform's map going into Ascent, and we'll be heading off to that after the short break, so make sure to stay tuned. I'm Daydum, casting here today with Dash. See you guys in a bit.
And welcome back, everybody, to Updraft, brought to you by KJC Esports. Remember, it's a 100 US dollars winner takes all prize, and the Demogorgons are coming against the members right now of S2 Esports. It's really looking strange here, Datum. There's a lot of things that we need to look out for, but still, again, we're going to be your shoutcasters for today. I'm Dash, and I'm here with Datum. That game one was so intense for Reform Esports. What do you think about it, Datum?
It's what I think about it is that that was way quicker than I expected it to be. I said it on round number one or before round number one when they locked up the mirror composition. I thought it was going to be a long game for that matter. But Reform Esports, they just pressed the issue and they kept on pressing and pressing, and S2 Esports, they crumbled. Now, though, let's see if tides will turn for S2 Esports, but this is
Yeah.
Reform's map Ascent, and yet on the semifinals they faced off against Zerkus, and Zerkus picked up Ascent against them, and they got destroyed 6-13.
Yeah. I remember during the quarterfinals, this is where Zerkus also performed a 13-1 against their enemies. And imagine Reform Esports defeating them on a 13-6 on a map that is one of their favorites right there. So this is also one of their great maps. So Reform Esports, this is gonna be hard for S2. So I'm kind of thinking on ways for S2 to win here, Datum, but still Reform Esports, they're looking pretty great on the defense. This might be their chance for the side of S2. They just need to work on their defense. This is a strong side for them, and Reform Esports might trip a bit and later gonna stand up and be a superhero after. So yeah, they need to be careful here.
I mean, both teams have to be careful here, but more so for S2 than for Reform. But you got to remember, this is Reform on Ascent we're talking about. Reform is a team that is super, super aggressive, especially on maps like this on the defensive side. When you give them the time, if you go for defaults, they're going to slowly creep up from all sides. Each and every angle must be accounted for from the flank. Otherwise, you're just going to fall against Reform in these types of
Mhm.
situations. So I'm expecting them to go for a very, very aggressive composition here, particularly in terms of the Sentinels, perhaps a Cypher or maybe even a Chamber once more. But Reform, they're starting off on the attacking side, which is where they're very strong in the first place.
Yeah, this is really great for Reform Esports going for the attacker side and how aggressive they are as a team and how fast they work.
Mm.
Yeah, this is going to be going in their favor, especially if I think the answer here for S2 Esports would be not to go on the face of how Reform Esports is going to go. They need to use their utilities to stop them, to slow them down, put an ice in their veins, and maybe that could work out in their side. But before we
Choose your
go on to that,
agent.
everyone, this again is a fight between Reform Esports versus the S2 Esports. And also, don't forget to like our socials and also our very own website, kjcesports.com, if you want to get more news about APAC or the scene altogether. And also, this event is co-organized by Cyberport. We also have a giveaway from Coda Shop and Vertigear. Don't forget, we said during the last time the winners could be from Singapore, Brunei, and Vietnam since they have distribution in the area. So if you want to still go for the giveaway, you can still have a chance to win. And also, they can use the coupon code KJCSS on the Vertigear SG store to get the 10% off on your Vertigear chair, man. Really want to get the Vertigear chair. So thank you very much, KJC, for this coupon code, right?
Absolutely. And of course, thank you very much to our sponsors. Like you mentioned, Dash, this tournament is co-organized with Cyberport and sponsored by Vertigear and Code the Shop. Now, we're going into game number 2. This is again, ladies and gents, the grand finals, and it's almost a mirror comp that we are going to be seeing apart from the
Oh,
controllers. I'm
really?
actually surprised that Disrupt went for the Omen over the Astra, but hey, bit justified, especially considering the nerfs to Astra and the buffs to Omen.
Yeah, I think I can see the reason why they did because especially that they're on the attacker side, they need to be a bit more aggressive. So having the paranoia, having that extra flash or near sight on their side might be very helpful. But Fade is gonna go in. Aldrone is gonna get taken down, and they're discovered. They're gonna go to the A side, and now that is just gonna call the rotation from the members right now of S2.
We're about to see right now. As Reform, they're actually taking things a notch slower than I would expect. Pushing up in A site right now, very little noise to be made. And I believe everything's gonna start off once this fragment has been thrown off by Gadores. Beautiful lineup as well, possibly going into that heaven or tree area actually. But we'll have to wait and see. Still plenty of time for reform, and they're playing it very, very slowly for now.
Yeah, shoot it down. Not any vision, not any info. Beacon Bolt comes out, Eugen S comes into the site, was able to get the space that they need, but will that be enough? Because they don't know that Milovan is already on hell, waiting for them to come out. They have the shotguns coming in, Fade is trying to get some right clicks, but not able to get the kill. Eugen S was able to get one, which is what's important. They open up the site, and now we're back to
Spike
first
planted.
plant.
Single kill going in the way of Reform, not answered back by S2, and again, it's the advantage already for Reform. Now, hunkering down in A site in beautiful positions. They have to be pushed up by Umine and the gang against the utility, but they're just not getting the
Last
flag.
player
Worship
standing.
and Gadors
Wow.
and Eugene S who does for the flawless.
Wow.
No one even fell for Reform in that post plant, and what a clean round for them.
Wow, nobody even fell. They were looking at the right angles, at the right time, was able to get those headshots. And yes, that is another win for Reform. Getting that one pistol round is going to be crucial, especially that the momentum is on their side. They're just going to be snowballing the heck out of this. Maybe an avalanche even against the members of S2 Esports. This is going to be hard for them. I wish they turn things around, at least make a miracle
I'm going
on
above.
the second round.
Let's take a look at that push once more for Reform. We're gonna be seeing it this time once more, because once the first bit of utility comes through, you know that all the members are going to follow suit. And they're all gonna hunker together, get those frags, not gonna let you get those trades. And the huge task on hand right now for S2 is to try and get those, despite that fact that the doorway again starts staying strong. Look, getting two right off the get-go. That's again side control without an answer back, but of course, this is the eco for S2.
Good timing for the 0 point. Was able to get the kill that they
enemy
want to go
remaining.
for. Eugen S onto the backside. Was able to get the kill. Mikasa, the last one, is on A low base. So he's just gonna get chased down by here. Not even getting another kill. That is just so much credits being built up for the side of Reform Esports. Again, another flawless round for them.
Another flawless. Still no one falling for their side.
Wow.
Look at the scoreboard. Everyone from Reform has got 0 deaths. Meanwhile, for S2, oh man, it's just complete domination already for the first 2 rounds. This round, though, should be, that was the word of the day yesterday, or the phrase of the day for me and Gen Dash, for your information. This should be a round for S2 Esports, but
What was the word again?
should be. Phrase.
Oh.
Phrase, should be.
Okay,
the round for
yeah, yeah.
S2.
It should be. It should be. And I hope it's also gonna be our word for the day, or a phrase for the day, because yes, it is expected that they're gonna be winning this round, but because the 0 point, Mikasa can't even fight back here. He does have his utilities, but now at least Saikoro was able to get the kill, and now would be able to stop the push, would be able to stop the snow, but the doors also falls down onto the spam from Mikasa. Both houses still not clear, can't even get into the site, and now Worship was able to open it up. And this is gonna be what they want for. Yes, it's a 4v3, but because they have the site, they need to penetrate
Spike
through on the side of
planted.
S2.
Upgrade going in the way of Worship as well. So this is a doable defense for Reform.
enemy
Not if you
remaining.
mind.
Ooh!
Put some work in, and he does at least get
One
traded by
enemy
Drop for
remaining.
the 3K. He might just be able to close it out with just the Spectre and only Miliwan to fight against. Still full health on Disrupt and 125 on Miliwan just because of the light shield. So it's all gonna
Oh.
boil down in the battle of the controllers. Who is going to win it? Disrupt or Miliwan? What a dink as well. Disrupt. Absolutely consistent with his aim. Will he be able to win this? All he has to do is buy enough
steps.
time, and he's gonna secure this. Doesn't hear where Miliwan has gone to, but the time is slowly ticking away. He's waiting for the shots. He's done it! The clutch, and 3 rounds in a row for Reform. And they're just not even going to get that supposed bonus in Reform.
Disrupt
Dominating
them,
all of them.
man. Yeah, Disrupt was just... Wow, he played that so well. Getting a 4K on that post-plan situation. Was able to get a win on a 1v3, imagine. And as you said, Data, it should have been the round for S2, but Reform are just too good right now. And they're not even showing any holes on their defenses. Not even a chink in their armor. They're just repairing it. They must have upgraded their fortresses right now. That's why... Whew. Can't even get a win, but Eugen S, oh, look at his head though. He has been popped on the head right now.
He gets slapped right in the face, but he's gonna be walking off of that one. And as long as they don't give the upgrades to the hands of S2 Esports, Reform are looking pretty good, because that last round, they were supposed to have a massive deficit. Here we go though, Saikuro. Pick up the Mikasa right
enemy
there as
remaining.
well from the
Oh,
off angle.
wow.
They're just
Down
mowing them
B.
all down. In B site with just the sheriffs, and Gador's has got a lot of work ahead of him if he wants to go for the clutch, but there's just no way right now. This is the round of press.
Are expecting to get that win there. Get the suppress, they get the vision onto Ghidorah. Tried to get him inside core, was able to get it. Yeah, that was a great 50 round for the side of S2 Esports. Now they got the gun upgrades that they need, and that's a very big win. It wasn't expected for them to win because they're on an equal round, but because they lined up so well, and also Disrupt and Eugen as during that round was low on HP because they got headshot. They got dinked in the head by the catwalk, and because of that, they were able to get the advantage, and they just used it in their favor.
Slowly remembering now how S2 Esports got to the grand finals. In the semifinals, whenever it was their eco is when they turned things around. So we might just be seeing that now as they do finally pick up the firepower. Admittedly, not on everyone, as Nasmi just has the Guardian to work with. Everyone else, though, has their assault rifles for... Or rather, it's S2. Actually, everyone has assault rifles right now on the defense. You mind pushing up in A side. Seeing that aggressive jet, unexpected so far, Spade making some noise down in A main. So if they push this up, this might prove deadly, and it does. Godolver's falls, but Worship is good for 2. Now picking up the man advantage again for Reform. And they walk off of that one with a massive win, and they are recuperating down into B.
They don't even know where they're
Placing
going
swarm
at this
grenade.
point. They have the ultimate coming in, and with that, they're gonna be just
Swarm
planting
grenade
this spike on the side. Worship was able to get one onto mid, and now it's gonna be quite awkward for them to go for the rotation, especially
player
that they're fighting
standing.
against Worship, who might be able to get the nace here. And yes, for sure, Miller One would just run this down, because if ever you don't want to get the ace onto Worship, it would just boost his confidence onto the air and Reform. I think Worship wants to get that, but Miller One was able. Oh no, that was a good shot, and also a good voice line from Astra.
What can I say? It's Millie One on a 1 versus 3, so he'll take as many wins as he can, starting with that duel.
Concealment. Blocking
Of course,
vision.
Astra celebrating right there. Just wants to save up this round, looking for the
Oh,
exit,
no.
but he's gonna get caught in the wrong time, in the wrong place. Eugene S secures round number 4 on the board for Reform. And this might be another eco for S2. Actually, no, they have the op on U-Mind, so they're looking pretty
Yeah.
set for this one.
Discovered pants down right there for Miller One. But on the side right here for, I think they have it all in full swing. Or Reform Esports right now, they were just up here. But I was expecting for S2 Esports to get a second wind on this next map, just because they were able to give that time a while ago. It's taking a long time for them to go online, and it might prove detrimental like what happened during the first game. They just need to fasten up. They need to force themselves. They need to slap their faces just for them to be awake and ready for what's going to come, because Reform Esports is not going to let them take their time.
Not at all. With the null command being activated, lineups will be there, but admittedly a little bit too late. Might catch Nafi off, but it's just not enough to get the kill off the doors. Looking to find the answer against Millie One, but it's Fade who shuts him down. At least Disrupt and Nasmi are good for 1 apiece. Hold that. This happened. Still a 2-on-2. You mind though. From up above on the op. A little bit too scary to deal with, but
One enemy remaining.
Mike is in no man's land right now, and Nasmi, he makes it work! What a swing against you mind as well for the 3K! And holy moly, the magic man, Nasmi himself.
Holy mackerel and tuna, Datum. That was... Wow, Nasmi played that. Oh my, he isolated both of them. Got the kill, then got the flick onto U-Mind. Wow, U-Mind wasn't expecting that even to happen, because the turret was there for him to be distracted, and that's why he wasn't able to swing or rather flick onto Nasby. Nasby turned up during
Get
that
out of
round.
my way.
Wasn't really expected, but still. Oh, Tatum, I thought that was the round for the side, because Miller One was able to get a lot of kills, but now U-Mind might be able to get more of it. Oh no, the shots onto the head. Was able to get the flash, but not able to get all the
Last
kills that they
player
need.
standing.
Reform again, just playing house here, wiping the floor against S2.
everyone was flashed right there. I
Right.
wasn't sure what happened. Reform, they were able to still win off of that fight despite not having any vision. Their screens were white in that fight. But man, oh man, S2 Esports. At least this time they have all the ults that they could possibly need. Four huge ones. Mind did of course commit that Blade Storm the last time in the last round to try and put in as much damage as he can, and we also how that went. He gets one tap by Eugene S quite quickly. But this might be a little bit different because as I mentioned, all huge ults available and first kill going the way of S2. So this might be the turning point here.
Yeah, this might be the round. Trying to keep their heads above water. Really need to do that because so far they have been drowning through the pressure that Freeform Esports have been putting up against them. And that was quite out in the left field for S2 Esports when they did that kill against Eugen, especially that Eugen wasn't expecting the 0 point to come out. They have the ultimates coming in, Saikoro using the Hunter Spirit to stop them on the tracks. Mikasa was able to get a kill, and now that might stop the pressure coming to their side, but they're not really going for it. Isolation again is the answer for the side of Reform Esports. There's just one player onto Boathouse, and if they kill him, Mikasa is just playing this so well, but Nasby was able to get one and not enough. But Mikasa was just what they needed, the hero during that round, and exactly the round that they needed to win.
That was kind of expensive though, we gotta admit, for S2 Esports. They used two huge ults, Hunter's Fury and the Cosmic Divide. And of course, you gotta give credit to Mikasa for being an absolute stronghold down in Boathouse. But that's just the first step into getting back into this game. 2-6. It's still a doable position, 4 rounds behind, don't get me wrong, but here's the thing, there's so much momentum riding on the side of RFM that even though they lost that round, they're still feeling it. They're still very, very confident. Look at them worship now. Right there though. But look at the trades coming through. Eugene S single tap is all to take care of Fade, and Mind falls as well through the dark covers. And that's just gonna leave RFM with the man advantage and give the upgrade onto Eugene S as well.
Oh no, that's not what they wanted to go for. Mikasa has at least the ultimate, the lockdown on his hands. If ever he would be able to get the kill on Ghidorahs. But because he knows that he has the ultimate, he needs to be careful a bit. He tries to go in. If he loses this lockdown, this might be another round for Reform Esports that they don't want to go for. Yes, they went in. They know that Boathouse isn't clear. They haven't cleared that just yet. So if ever they tried to go for it, Mikasa has played this a while ago, was able to make it work, but because nobody is here to help him out, Mikasa again making it work onto a full swing, gets a 2v2 on his side, and at least this is going to be an equalizer, a 2v2. This might be able to go good for S2 Esports.
Null command at the ready for Ghidorahs, so that might just nullify all the utility available for Saikoro and Milioan, but they don't have really a lot to work with anyway, so I don't expect that to be committed anytime soon. Saikoro, the first to walk into the crosshair, doesn't get tagged off as of yet, but Alarm Bot will be there to slow him down. Time slowly ticking away, so we have to press the issue now. Nasby's good for the trade. As Milioan now left to go for the one-on-one with just 20 health and a dream. Now taken down to 1 HP and he gets taken out. Nasby takes themselves RFM 5 rounds ahead.
Yeah, could have been it for Mikasa if it was able to defend the side there, but because it's a 1v3, everyone is just pushing him. He was able to make work of it, which is what's important, but still, Reform Esports just knows what to do whenever they're put in on that situation. Trying to race after the score that they have right now, but yeah, they're hanging on the knife's edge. They might implode with just any wrong rumble. So this is just so hard, especially that they're the ones who are on the defense, and they're the ones having a hard time. Reform Esports just knows how to play this super aggressively, and they have been dictating the pace of this game so far. 3 people are on A side. They're all waiting for them to go for on A main. But looking at how Reform plays, they're playing it very safely, and even was able to get the kill on Fade. You might 1 HP. They might be able to push through with him. Gets the kill. Another eco onto their side, and now they're pushing through it. And that's going to be the kill. The last one standing. Again on their side, Mikasa, the superhero that they need, but the superhero also dies with the team.
Nasty proving to be the kryptonite against Mikasa right there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to go for the hero play once more. But it is just a sheriff round for Mikasa, so this time he's repositioning himself in A site, but
Turret out.
seems like B is the target for Reform. And I love it. Reform, again, they've taken control of the speed of the game. They pushed up the tempo once more, and they're forcing S2 to play at their speed. This is why S2 is struggling to keep up, because this is the tempo that Reform is very, very good at.
You
S2, they're
should
just
run.
not used to it as of yet.
Oh!
Once more, there you go, you mind finally picking up the first, but the lineups will be there to counter.
What?
Got locked out. It doesn't get it off,
Oh,
which means
no.
push is still going to commence. And Reform, they activate the low command.
Yeah, Saikoro. Oh, what was that lineup onto both house? Was able to get it. They got one person detained. Saikoro, they don't know that he's not detained, but still falls down. The 3v4. Still, Humine was able to get the kill onto one.
Spike
And
planted.
they're not going to be expecting the first worship. Gets another headshot of his own. Especially with the operator on hand, it's not going to be easy to go for a retake, especially that they know that they're on CT. They're just going to be waiting for him, especially with that 0 point. They have been discovered. And a 4v2 is just not an easy round to go for. And the flashes are coming through. The paranoia came in, and Gonzorus just got the kill right there. The last one standing, Humine with the operator. He's gonna save that for the last round, but Worship is here waiting for him. And he's just gonna get taken down. Never mind. Might be able to get another kill of his own, but the Shock Dart was able to hit the timing just right. And Worship just puts him down on his knees. And that's what's Reform
Last
again
round
winning this
in the
round.
half.
They didn't even wait for the dark cover to dissipate. Dash. They're so
Right.
brutal. Reform. They didn't even give the off to you mind. Oh, they're taking everything they can. 9-2 is the scoreline, and the bank is broken for S2 Esports. But they have made they have made an eco rather happen before in this
Yeah.
game. So maybe they're all hope is not lost yet for S2.
Yeah, because they lost that round, it's really hard to go fight on an eco, especially on the last round. To put all hands on deck. Ball is in their court, so they need to try something different here if they want to go for a push, but Fade was able to get that. That was a nice off angle right there. Reform at least was able to get another answer on their side. Really not what they're going for, and they're getting a lot of shots in. Again, they open up the side. And this is another boost blast situation with this drop on City! And that's the last person, Saikoro. Reform is just on a rampage. They're conducting a medley of that. And this is the last one, the last note. And that is good music right there for Reform Esports.
That's the second kill in
Switching
this round that
sides.
Gador's got a run and gun kill with the Vandal. Like, hello? That's not allowed, Gador's. Especially with a Vandal, but hey, oh my gosh, Reform. Couldn't have put it any better myself, Dash. It's a medley of murder for Reform. 10-2. It's looking a lot. Very, very similar to the last game. Same number as well. This time Reform going onto the defensive side. Well, they are pretty deadly as well. Let's see if S2 has it in them to equalize the scoreline, or maybe even come out ahead on this attacking side. But it's all gonna boil down once more to the pistol round.
Yeah, it's been a bloodbath. If Sherlock was here, tried to solve this murder, there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of forensics going on right now. So it was just Reform Esports all over, taking them down. Man, again, Fusion S gets another kill. Make that two! And Mikasa at least was able to answer with one of his own. I mean, it's not a Titan that Mikasa was able to get the kill though, but at least he was able to make it hurt. Now the last one,
Last player
Worship
standing.
is just gonna take one more on his hands, and Fate is heard on A side. He's gonna be closing the door. He has been heard, but it's a 2v1 still. He has a 0 point, has a lot to work with. So yeah, they need to
Spike
fasten it up,
planted.
because look at that, the paranoia to the headshot. Reform takes the pistol round again.
What a scary shot that was for Disrupt. Not wasting a single second at all. When they heard the sound cue, they immediately bolted down into tree, into cubby, and used the paranoia without hesitation. Then a nasty shot to cap it all off from Disrupt. And it's gonna have to be the force buy right now for S2 Esports if they want to stop this match point from happening. Because at this point, it's looking a lot like an inevitability anyway. And Reform looking nigh unstoppable in this defense, just like they did on the attacking side. But this might be what they're not expecting, the Spectres.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, they were not expecting the Spectre from EGNS. And I mean, man, getting the shock darts in, they went in for the force buy onto the second round. And this might be what they need in order for them to get something, in order to get a notch on their belt. So they're pushing up, they get aggressive, they try something different. This might be the second win that they're looking for, but no, they need more. They need a tornado coming to their side because right now, look at Eugen Nas. He's running around with the Spectre, and Nasby again was able to get the kill. Oh my, Zaydam. Yeah, Disrupt. I mean, S2 went fast, but Reform just went faster then.
Reform,
Match point.
reform. Absolutely amazing performance so far. And as to esports, man, they just can't keep up right now. Gotta be honest here. It's the tempo. They're taking S2 by storm, Reform, and S2 they're not used to this at all. I mean, it's been close games the entire tournament for them. They've been pretty good, to say the least. But now, Reform's just at another level. Look at this. They're undeterred. They're pushing up, and they're gonna pick the first kill for sure.
Oh
Eugene S with
my.
the Phantom, and that coordination as well. The flash working out so well for him. That's gonna force the push down in A. They have no choice now because they're one man down. Tailwind for you, Mind. At least they're gonna claim that real estate, but they're closing the door. Might just be able to get that plant off, but Worship just tags those members. Disrupt gets a headshot as well. Look at the run and gun. Gun doors! Not like this. Not anymore. This is not
No
where you're supposed to end
way.
the Updraft Grand Finals. But it is exactly how they're gonna do it and Reform. They're gonna be winning it 2-0. Such a decisive win for them.
That's too dirty. Reform Esports just played around with the Spectres running and gunning every step of the way, getting the wins all around. Zaydam, that was just so great. I have no words for Reform Esports. They played it so well, especially during this week. Yes, there were some walls right here and there, getting game threes against Zerkas Esports during the semifinals, but they proved their worth on this last game, and that was a good play. Maybe we don't know. Reform Esports might be the mind player, and they were just controlling S2 Esports during the whole time. So sorry for the references, everyone. I hope you get it. But
I was
really
about to
love-
ask Dash, what's with the Stranger Things references?
I don't
today,
know,
but-
man. I don't know, man. I'm not even sure. I kind of missed that series. That's why I
Yeah,
have
me
a lot
too.
of Stranger Things references though.
Yeah, but going back into the series, Reform Esports definitely a team to watch out for going forward in the Valorant scene, especially here in APAC and the Philippines. VCT Stage 2 is happening pretty soon, so Reform, we might be seeing an absolute performance for them, so we'll have to wait and see. But for now, they're going to be winning week number 2 of KJC Esports Updraft. Thank you, folks, for staying with us this long. Before we head off into the night, we'd like to thank our sponsors. KJC Esports Updraft is co-organized with Cyberport and sponsored by Vertigear and Code the Shop. Make sure to join our giveaway, giveaway in chat, so that the instructions and links will be brought up for you. Again, my name's Daydum Casting here with Dash, and that's it for week number 2. See you guys after 2 weeks for the next Updraft. We're gonna have fresh new teams, fresh new faces, but it's still gonna be us joining you, so make sure to stay tuned for that one. But before that, see you guys. We're gonna be having a 2-week break for now.